Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of What We Do in the Shadows, March Madness. And I overall really enjoyed this episode because I think they did a nice balance of the A storyline and the B storyline in this. The A storyline focusing on Nandor and Laszlo as they check in on Shawnee, and the B storyline checking in on Nadja, Colin, and Guillermo as they're dealing with stuff at Canon Capital. So, let's see here. There's also that at the end on this one, so there is a little kind of thing at the end. But let's go on the B storyline first, because the A one's pretty damn good and gets us into some other kind of interesting territory within the universe lore for creatures and everything. So, Guillermo's kind of feeling like he hasn't found his kind of place at Canon Capital. We get pretty much how the office kind of politics kind of work out. He's doing the pretty much interview while Colin is being annoying with his leaf blower and there's no leaves around. But Colin, of course, being a creature of the corporate world and everything, because of him being an energy vampire, is like, oh shit, you don't have your thing. And then pretty much running through all the lines of like, are you the funny guy? Are you the gay guy? Are you the hot guy? All the kind of stupid clicky kind of shit. Are you the Mexican guy? All those kinds of like stupid kind of inner office politics things that you've got. And the thing is, Colin pretty much brings this up as a defense mechanism. If you don't have your kind of like click spot, when layoffs come, you're out first. It's like, okay, pretty much he understands tactically what goes on there. And we see that Nadja pretty much has the kind of funny route. But the thing is, she pretty much is really annoying in this episode, but that's the objective of what's kind of going on. It's not like a Integrity Farms situation. It's more like a Kung Pao Enter the Fist kind of situation, where the showrunners know what they're doing with Nadja. They know that she is being annoying and being a fucking asshole to those around her, and that's pretty much where the conflict and the humor then springs from. Where in Kung Pao Enter the Fist, it is making fun of like badly dubbed kung fu movies and shit, and it does it so well that people are like, this thing sucks. It's like, yes, but that's the objective. It's made like that intentionally. So we pretty much see her doing this running joke of like using this banana and saying, like, at first doing something that is like, okay, yeah, that's kind of funny, and the people being like, what the fuck are you doing? And she just has this rotten banana pretty much by the end of it, chasing people around, trying to be that kind of funny when it's like, oh my god. So Colin has pretty much just, he is such a nondescript kind of like corporate kind of person that he's just like, yeah, I'm that weird kind of like HR dude. Like, he literally probably doesn't even really have any kind of like person that's like vouching for him that he actually fucking works there. Whereas Nadja and Nandor probably went through some kind of process, though I would be hesitant to say that they actually really went through it, since they were probably do hypnosis or whatnot to kind of get into there. Colin's just doing his kind of HR stuff, pretty much trying to come up with different kind of ways for Guillermo to do that kind of thing, going for the quiet, explodey kind of person, where you're pretty much quiet and then you explode over something, and then you kind of like have enough of a lull between explosions that you're not the exploded everything kind of guy, and not the complete quiet guy that you pretty much sit in the corner and be like, holy fucking shit, you're a goddamn ninja man. That's, trust me, I kind of understand that one, where it's like, yeah, I just don't make any waves and don't do anything. You'd probably not notice me if I'm not there, kind of shit. So they're trying to kind of concoct this kind of scenario, and they pretty much go and do this thing because the boss wants to do this PowerPoint, and there's just little, the joke's like, yeah, I got your PB right here. It's like, ah, shit. And even Guillermo would just be like, So they go in there. Colin pretty much just tried to figure out what's going on, and they pretty much set up the scenario. Guillermo's pretty much trying to do the blow up on him. However, Colin, for some reason, decides to kind of reverse Uno this shit and fucking clock someone. And even Colin doesn't know why he fucking did it. They're pretty much trying to figure out how to do this, how to make this work it out, and then Colin just beats the ever-loving fucking shit out of him. It's kind of like crazy. He's like, yeah, I don't know why I did it. As he pretty much gets escorted from the village, he's like, he just fucking did it, man. It's like, holy fucking shit. So, Guillermo's boss then pretty much wants to figure out if he's going to sue him because he's a person of color, he's gay. It would pretty much tank the whole kind of thing. And it's like, Guillermo, you should have really fucking went for that. You'd take down this fucking assholes. Like, Guillermo still does not understand that he has the kind of subservient kind of attitude that really works in the favor of these assholes. There are complete parallels between Cannon Capital and how the vampires run their shit. They are parasitic fuckers that, like, go and just extract everything of value from anything and provide no value in return. So I'm really hoping that when we get to the end, Guillermo really understands this point, has that light on moment. It's like, well, fuck me. Because here, he then just pretty much tries to, as a kind of quid pro quo for his silence, he decides to pretty much put him on certain kind of stuff to kind of like hush hush and move shit along for Cannon Capital. He's like, yeah, I'll be your tight vault. It's like, just be the vault man. And that's his kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know why you want to be the tight vault man, but alright. So that was pretty interesting to kind of get that kind of group kind of going together, putting Colin in his element of understanding the corporate kind of work, but for some reason just going ham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and just beating the shit out of Guillermo. It's like, okay. So, the A storyline deals with March Madness, and for whatever reason, the sports kind of shit really fucking hits on with me with what they do in the shadows, like the superb owl and all that stuff. I was just like, alright, so in this case, we see that March Madness has descended, and that Sean is doing crazy ass shit, and to Laszlo, he thinks that he is possessed by a demon. It's like, oh god, how do demons work in this world? What's kind of going on? Of course, bringing that they're red, horns, and all that kind of shit, and seeing Laszlo and Nandor kind of work it out and do it was a nice kind of pairing here. It worked very well as I tried to figure out what to do. Laszlo telling Nandor not to make eye contact. He's like, it was Shawnee, not me. So their whole kind of plan is to scare the fucking shit out of the demon that they believe is possessing Sean by getting another bigger demon. So they then get the guide's help to do this summoning kind of ritual, and just I love that they put like weird kind of supposed Latin kind of shit going on, and they summon them, and we find out that this demon is a lot into the March Madness, going into the college basketball and everything like that. It's like, oh god, is there like, are they onto something? Because Laszlo pretty much says that anytime that there's this weird kind of like, oh, seasonal malady or whatnot, demon possession, shit like that. And it's like, is March Madness when people go crazy being possessed by demons in this kind of shit? That's fucking hilarious. Because he goes down, he kind of talks to Shawnee, he attempts to do the whole demon kind of scare, and that's not working out, and then Sean has a heart attack pretty much, gets him into the hospital, and pretty much then we see Laszlo actually trying to take care of him. He really actually cares for Sean. Though it's more almost like in the realm of kind of pet kind of thing, and that's kind of how it's presented towards the end here. I didn't know if Laszlo would potentially have floated the idea of making him a vampire if he cared for him that much. I mean, the season's not over yet, and consequently the show, so we do have some time to see if that actually kind of pops up as a point. But we see him doing the workout and stuff, and Sean's just like, give me some Jersey Mikes, man. I just want to sub. Nandor then takes it upon himself to pretty much look after Sean's wife. Pretty much saying that, like, if a warrior fell in battle, that it's your job to take care of his wife and everything. It's like, that's actually a pretty interesting idea. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of, like, take his wife as his own, but no, he was just watching TV with her and trying to make sure that she was okay and everything, and then also talking about his feelings for the guide and all that, without directly saying that. The wife thinks that it's a documentary about how slow Nandor is. It's like, holy fucking shit. Then they get a call that during the whole workout stuff, which we get some really good comedy with Laszlo just fucking floating over the treadmill, Sean getting pushed down, Sean getting fucking exercise balls fucking thunder tossed at him by Laszlo, but Laszlo's not trying to be an asshole about it. That's the great kind of thing that they're able to balance in here. You do get those kind of Seinfeld moments where these people are a bunch of fucking grade A assholes doing asshole things. Laszlo is not trying to be an asshole here. He is not doing the things correctly, but he is trying to help Sean improve his health so that way he lives longer. He's just thunder chucking fucking exercise balls at the dude's head, and then he has another fucking heart attack. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. And we see that the demon's like, yeah, I'll go. And I'll go back to hell. And at first you think he's just walking out, and Nandor's like, that's kind of disappointing. And then you see... I love the effects here. They know when to go big with what they need to do. The demon walks out into the hallway, grabs his horns, and fucking rips apart and explodes in blood. And then Nandor's like, yeah, that's how you do it. But of course, Nandor and Sean's wife leave the room before Sean pretty much talks to Laszlo, being like, yeah, my dad died young, my granddad died young, I died young as well. It's not really about the quantity, but the quality. And it's like, he appreciates what Laszlo's been doing for him and trying to, like, be a friend and everything. He's like, do you have what I want? And gives Sean a full-ass Jersey Mike shove that he's fucking trying to do as much as possible with. His like, holy fucking shit. Oh, God. And Nandor also had his hand stuck in, like, a biohazard waste disposal fucking thing, and Sean's wife's trying to help his ass out. And the thing is, she pretty much tried to tell him to pretty much tell him, like, explain his feelings to the person that he has those feelings for. And we see that Nandor goes at the end, tries to give some flowers to the guide. However, Jerry's the one that answers. He's like, yes, these are for you. And then he just goes, fuck, and then leaves. So I really liked this. I mean, it balanced it well enough. The stories didn't really intersect that much. So the only way to have made this any kind of better would have been to maybe, like, flow the whole thing together, but I wouldn't actually say to go that road at all, because these were great stories that worked very well and gave us different kind of things. Nandor and Laszlo, pretty much a friendship kind of thing, and exploring how demons are summoned in this world, what they kind of do, what they look like, how they kind of act, and specifically within this case, evidently there's a subsect of fucking demons in hell that are fucking really into college basketball. And fuck around during March Madness. And also looking at the kind of corporate world through the energy vampire and kind of understanding that, yes, he might be an energy vampire, but he has a great sense of this kind of stupid beast that is corporate culture that doesn't really need to be. And Nadja doing her own kind of stuff and just kind of getting sucked up into it. And it's kind of cool to see her in that kind of world, because that was kind of her story that was set upon on this season. So the only thing also that we didn't really get a check in on is, like, well, two things. The monster and the doll. And I'm good with them being used sparingly. We got the doll utilized pretty well in the last one, and we got the monster utilized pretty well throughout the season. So some off episodes to let him kind of chill a bit works very well. So, man, I really like this and I really enjoyed this. And if you didn't, that's fine. I understand that. There's some that really didn't work for me that could have just, like, been really funny for you, and I like that. That's cool. I'm good with that. And I just can't wait to see what other kind of crazy-ass shit is going on next. I mean, the preview that we got for, like, a TV show kind of popping up and doing some crazy-ass shit, that looks like it's going to be a hoot. So hopefully it is. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.